y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we dig deep into R&B albums, eras, and artists with folks in the music industry or experts on the music industry. I am naturally Elise, and that's my brother,
JR.
and we are the R&B representers. And today we are welcoming B. Trenton. Hey.
What's going on with y'all, man?
Yes.
So excited to be on here, man. Oh my God.
We're so happy to have you.
That's
And how about you tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into what we're going to be talking about?
Sure. So, B. Trenton, born and raised in Atlanta, singer, songwriter. Been at it for a few years, still I feel early in my, my process, my progress. Always a student of the game. That's how I got to know Junior, JR. Always listening, looking for people who, know R&B and appreciate it in the sense where I can learn something. So happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, we are so happy to have you. And JR, how about you tell the folks what we're talking about today and a little bit of why?
Okay. So today we will be talking about D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. Yes. Yeah, you better point. But yo, before we even get into this, I just want to give B his stripes right quick and how I was introduced to this dude. Like, y'all know I started Current R&B Bangers back in like 2016. And this is when, online everybody kind of talked mess about, oh, R&B ain't here and blah, 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 blah. And I was just on social media like everybody else, just talking mess. And I was like, you know what? I need to create something. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to talk it, I'm going to walk it too. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me start creating something where I can find joints and talk about it and maybe, create something, a little impact that instead of me just running my mouth on social media like a lot of you do now. But anyway, yeah, I had to do it. I'm sorry. But when I created it, I was just looking at different things, finding like SoundCloud. And one day in 2016, I found B. Trenton and I found Drunk Words and Sober Thoughts. And take it as it may, y'all know with the red cup and all that, so y'all know that got me off the break. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got me off the break. But what was so funny, the song that he used was D'Angelo and Lauren, Nothing Really Matters. So from that, I was like, yo, this dude can really sing. And I'm talking about sing, y'all. Like, he got a church throat, for real, for real. Just saying, it come out of him when he sings, y'all. And from that day, I talked about him on the show. I talked about Drunk Words, Sober Thoughts, even though the title was used later. And, it was just, since 2016, I've been talking about B. I tag him in everything. I go off because he is a singer that is really need to be heard. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? George, like, pour out a little liquor, French kiss, Devil's Cup. Y'all see, I clearly still listen to it because I know it like that. And then, he had Masterpiece and Peach and all those. And then I was so proud when Salaam Remi did this contest. And he ended up getting on the album, yo, and on the joint where It's Because I'm Black. And I lost it because I want people to hear this dude. He sings like crazy. And the reason why us talking about Brown Sugar is so crazy to me is because when I heard him, I heard D'Angelo's Brown Sugar, the depth, the grit that he sings with. It was like, he reminds me of D'Angelo, and obviously the song Nothing Really Matters with him and Lauren. I was like, it makes perfect sense. So to talk about this, when he was like, I want to talk about Brown Sugar. I was like, well, let me get my fan on for a second. At least gonna let me have it. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my little fan on right quick. Because I am a fan of dude. B knows this. Like, everybody that follows me know I go in about this. At the end of the year, I talk about male singers that really can sing, and he's always on that list since 2016. So I'm so hyped to talk about this. Like, had to get my fandom on him on right quick, you know what I mean? But y'all know how we like to start. So B, when did you get introduced to D'Angelo for the first time?
Man, Much appreciated for that introduction, man. That's love.
Of course, of
Uh,
course.
so I believe I was probably riding in the car with my parents, and Brown Sugar came on, and I can probably count on one hand how many like WTF moments I've had when I heard a voice and then like, bro, who is that? Like, what is this? What is going on? And I might have been in elementary school when that song came out, and immediately, I wanted to know, hey, who is that? And they kind of, played it some more. And that was the first artist that my parents and I were a fan of. Beforehand, I grew up on oldies, I grew up on all that. So I knew the songs, but I didn't, connect with it like that. That was the first artist where we both went to the concerts. We both were buying the CDs. So it was, it kind of brought us together too, musically. So that was my introduction to D'Angelo.
Oh. So I think that was mine as well. I think Brown Sugar caught me because of the thickness of what it was, because I'm such a big Curtis Mayfield fan. And I think when you talk about, everybody likes, let's get this word out the way, neo soul. When they talk about that, I feel like Curtis doesn't get talked about a lot in that, because I always feel like neo soul had the thickness of what Curtis was doing, even with the impressions back then. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously into his own music with Superfly and on going down the line like that. And when I heard Brown Sugar, it was something about the thickness that got me. And I was like, yo, who is this cat? You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, all right. And then I didn't really pay too much attention to it. You know what I mean? And not knowing that this is the same dude that wrote You Will Know.
Hey, man,
when you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, oh, that's him. You know what I mean? But I was like, all right, I'm a fan from that. But then once I heard Cruising, it was a wrap. It was done. I was like, I'm a fan of this dude, because we both, the R&B representatives here, are not the biggest Smokey Robinson fans. Not at all. But what D'Angelo did with this record, I don't even think about Smokey's version anymore, what he did with it. And from that moment, it was a wrap. And that's how I really, really got to where D'Angelo became one of my favorites with that. So
amazing, man. Yeah, I definitely remember hearing Cruising. And before I heard Smokey Robinson's version first, of course. Like I said, my parents played all their music coming up. But yeah, that was the first time that I had heard the redo sound, I'll just say similar to the first version, what made me kind of, like you say, forget about the first version. And I just more so even became a fan of D'Angelo. Of course, all due respect to Smokey Robinson's version, but it was connected with me more hearing it from, D'Angelo's point of view.
And my introduction is similar, similar to B's, because it was one of those artists that me and my mother loved. In fact, in the beginning, I think my mama loved it even more than I did. She had a whole D'Angelo thing. I talk about kids have phases. She had a whole D'Angelo phase.
Oh,
and so, I remember she bought the CD, and she didn't often buy CDs and stuff, but she had that, and that was something we could both connect on, because it brought everything. It brought, like JR said, it brought the thickness of those records and those Curtis Mayfield records and similar records, but it's this young guy. He kind of has a different approach to how he sings and how just the cadence of the thing, everything. Like it was like a breath of fresh. It was just something different, but yet familiar at the same time. And so that's how he was able to get that intergenerational, because everybody can't do that. And at that time, like other artists that came out to where I liked and my mom liked were like Maxwell was another example, because it was that familiarity of the thickness, but it was a new approach to it. So it was able to.
I feel like that's what we're missing a lot now. You know what I mean? I think we need somebody like a D'Angelo or Maxwell or even an Erica and all that to kind of be like, oh, it's familiar to us, but it's still got that new school flavor. You know what I mean? And I think we definitely need that now because
it's not a lot of music now that that the parents and the kids like.
right.
It's not a lot of it.
No.
Mainstream wise. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what it will take. I mean, yeah.
oh, oh God. All right. Yeah, so we can get into this album then. All right. So Brown Sugar, obviously, that's how we all was kind of everybody was kind of like introduced. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this before I get it. I want people to stop acting like that when July the 3rd, 1995 came out, that everybody was on this album like that. And that's not true at all. It was like this was a sleeper. You know what I'm saying? It was really a sleeper. People really wasn't hitting on it until that's why he started winning a lot of these awards in 97 and all that, because by 96, that's when everybody started getting really on it. You know what I mean? That kind of made it a little easier for Maxwell and Erica. You know what I'm saying? Because before then, it was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? And then finally, I guess the next single comes out. Then people start really paying attention to D'Angelo. So yeah, I just wanted to make that because people swear to God, oh, July the 3rd, 1995. Oh, I was on it. No, you wasn't. Stop lying. Stop lying. No, you wasn't. You wasn't on it. Nah, son. But yeah, so Brown Sugar, that's how we all got on it. We talked about kind of like the depth of it, but this next joint, all right.
So we're not gonna talk about the song Brown Sugar?
Oh, okay. I mean, it was like our introduction. I mean, I figured, hey.
No, because I still think it's hilarious that I had to tell about my mama.
Oh, I forgot. My bad, y'all. So, track number 1. So
how you gonna just skip over the title track?
I thought that's how we always introduced to the songs. I was like, all right, we talked about it a little. We go to the next song. You see what I gotta do with me? You see this?
Title track.
She keeping it in line, man.
Yeah, you see this, right?
And think of how amazing. No, yes, it was the big hit in the song that people know. It's the title track.
Mm-hmm.
But what an intro to an album. The way that Brown Sugar starts, like that's amazing. Like especially you talk about how Curtis and all that. Like
that's true. That's true. Gathered, you're right.
It's an amazing intro track, and of course, when I was a child, I didn't know what he was singing about. I thought he was singing about a girl the whole time. Once I found out, he was talking about, medicinal. It just brought it to another level. Then I got to appreciate like the penmanship and being able to write something like that, and that's what inspired French Kiss. Because I was like, okay, I'm not, I don't smoke as much as I drink per se, so.
Right.
How can I do this, but in my own way? So the inspiration just flows throughout, and it starts with Brown Sugar.
Mm-hmm. It was creative. You know what I'm saying? When artists were able to be creative with the pen. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you again, like, come on, I was only 9 when this album came out. Yeah, so I'm thinking he talking about that too. Like he talking about a girl, and he talking about weed. Like I'm like, and then when you think about the lyrics, it's like. Oh damn, he is like, oh,
the tools to be able to pull that shit together, man. It's just like I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's something special about that, and that's what gravitated me towards that.
And I remember I finally told cause can't get much past me. So even though I was 16 and I wasn't, I was smoking weed or anything like that. But, I wasn't no dummy. I knew what was what. Mm-hmm. And I never trying to tell my mom that that's what it was about. And she was like, no, she's still rooting for me. I shouldn't root it for you. You love the song. I was like, it's a metaphor. So if you want it to be about a girl or about a mate, that's okay. Like, it's a metaphor, but it can still, music can be what it is to you. That's what he was singing about, but music is poetry and it's interpretation. So it still can be. it still works as being about a girl.
Yeah, he just met the girl in Philly. We know what he really mean, though.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, like I miss that though. Like I miss that creative type of writing like that. You know what I mean? Like especially mainstream wise, because now we ain't got no bridges, no nothing. Like it's like y'all.
But you know something? Another thing D'Angelo brought to the game is a lot of the 90s until the neo soul, it wasn't a lot of singer songwriters. It was a lot of people getting things written for them or groups getting stuff. Like it wasn't a lot of singer songwriters in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
That's
not the
true.
first half, you know.
That's true. Especially with doing everything.
All your 90s phase from the first half of the 90s. They weren't writing them songs.
Yeah.
That's
And I
true.
think he produced most of Brown Sugar too. Like he was actually damn near on some Prince shit for real. Like,
yeah.
everything, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That singer songwriter came with D'Angelo and Maxwell and them, like the being the pen on your own album.
Mm-hmm. And basically doing damn near everything on the album too. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you know what I'm saying? You hearing vocals, it's him. Right. You know what I'm saying? You playing the piano, it's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a couple other people like Bob Power and all those, you know what I'm saying? And Raphael, obviously, but other than that, it's him. Him and his brother. Really?
Shaheed Muhammad too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we cannot forget Miss Angela Stone either. Like she doesn't get in the mix when you talk about D'Angelo a lot, and she is the reason kind of we got this album the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Because she's been in the industry for so long, she knew how to kind of not ground him, but kind of not mainstream. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but she was able to we got this album and it felt completed because of her. She was able to be like, oh, this goes here. Yeah.
She was able to give him the song.
Right. So that's why this album is the way it is, because of her. You know what I mean? And people kind of leave Angie Stone out of the mix. So yeah, I had to throw you in, Angie. We ain't leaving you out, girl. No.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because one song I think he dedicated to you. But but yeah, so all right, now to the second song on the album, since we have done the first track and I almost missed it.
I just don't know what was on his mind.
Because I was just like, B said that's how I was introduced. I said that's how I was introduced, but we didn't go in depth. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to have something in this cup.
When I intro the show, first 10 seconds, I said where we go in depth about albums.
Is she reading? Like you're reading. Like you're really reading. Like reading. Go ahead.
Okay, I was what's wrong with them? You see the show, you know the fucking
right, and then we had to miss like the first 10 minutes of this joint because we went in on the record, and I'm about to miss it. But anyway, all right, the second track, all right. This is the boy from Bethel AME Baptist Church somewhere, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear it as soon as it come in with them church influences, them backgrounds that he gives. I feel like this is like, you know, praise and worship after the benevolence offering. Yes, y'all, I go to church, yes. But or the building fund.
Oh man.
Okay. And this is praise and worship. And I feel like, you know, this is that song. You know, you coming off of Brown Sugar and you're getting the feeling of what the album is. And I feel like this all right kind of sets it off. Like, all right, I gave you a piece with Brown Sugar. Let's go with all right. And now y'all gonna get a lot of my church influences. That's what I feel like with this record.
Yeah, and for me, you know, the same. And of course, you know, I came up through a church. So seeing him being able to intertwine those worlds, I'm pretty much all like R&B, oldies, church, hip hop, and you combine all that's all like that's what I came up on. So another reason why I was able to gravitate towards him, because he could blend those feelings and being, I mean, honestly, I had this conversation with a friend of mine, but growing up in the church and just being experienced, getting those that sauce that you get from church is a cheat code, because you cannot, like, you can't, it's not a plug in, you know what I'm saying, to get that kind of soul in your voice, to understand where you're going with the shit, with those chords. And people who hear it, like, you hear it, but it's the reason why I gravitate, because it's real soul music. So for him to put, you know, All Right after a Brown Sugar, and the way he just intertwines those genres was just genius to me, you know, like, and still inspires me today. So yeah, I definitely appreciate it as growing up in the church. Said, damn, he got the church stuff on here too. Like, he's really intertwining all the worlds that made me.
Talk your shit, B, because you see what he said, since he was like, if you in church, you got to know that sauce. Like, he was talking his shit for real, because some of these people try to have sauce and they don't.
Well, but I'm going to tell you why church voices are the way they are.
Wow.
Because you are singing about something that means so much to you personally. You're talking about your spirit. You're talking about where you think your soul is going to end up, and you're passionate about it. So you're going to sing it with a conviction that you just can't sing about anything else. And look, and I'm not a religious person, and I don't particularly classify myself as Christian anymore. However, like, if you're singing about that, and when I still hear it, I still feel something, because they're singing what they're singing, they mean it.
Man, that is so, oh my God.
That's the cheat code, as you said. Like, you have that conviction about it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna sing from a place that you might not even know that you had. When you hear church singing,
communion,
like, I'm sure they surprise
Saturday.
sometimes of the places they go. Like, where did that come from?
Exactly.
When you have that conviction about whatever it may be, like, you're gonna.
And I can speak for, you know, when I first decided I was gonna be, because I have a whole other history about me coming into the music industry and stuff. We might not have enough time for all that. But when I decided I was gonna be Trenton, I was messing around with songs, and I had a song. It was cool. Like, I'm still, you know, getting my chops together and shit. And my cousin heard it. Shout out to my cousin Frankie. My cousin Frankie heard the song. I'm thinking, okay, this song cool. Like, okay, yeah. My cousin Doug played it for him. And he was like, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but it didn't really feel like you meant it. I was like, damn. I was like, fuck. You make a good point. Because no one had ever told me no shit like that before. He was like, yeah, it's cool. I can tell you can sing, but I don't think you meant it for real. And from that day forward, I assure you, I'm like, if I don't feel it, if I don't have that conviction, I'm not gonna, like, put it out. I'm not gonna put any extra energy in it, because the feeling, to me, I'm not looking for perfection. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to feel something. So when I go to a studio, and that's why, honestly, this is why I record myself, because I don't use auto-tune or anything. So it's like, you can't even go into a studio without them wanting to throw auto-tune on your shit and make it. Yeah. I'm like, bro, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for a feeling. Like, that's what I'm looking for. So we might be listening to two different things, two different ways. So if you may not have heard me enunciate on the word, but you felt where I was coming from, that's more important than you knowing exactly what I said or exactly what this caters to, is providing that feeling.
Yeah.
Communion Saturday. Y'all better go off. Like, for real, like, I swear, like, at least, like, y'all just body that, because it's about a feeling. That's me. You know what I mean? And I always say on this show that I'm an emotional listener. Get my emotion first. That's what I want. Man. You ain't got to sing proper, enunciate stuff and all this and try to be, like, perfect. When it's perfect to me, it's not right. That's what I feel. Hey, I always feel like that. Like, when it's something perfect, no. That's why I love live. When people do it live, because you're not going to give it to me like you did on the record. Mm-hmm. You're not going to give it, but give me the feeling of the record. but you're not going to do it the same way you did because there's so much that's added to when you're doing it on an album. But when you're doing that joint live, give me that feeling so I could be like, whoo, yeah, I felt it like I felt the album. You know what I mean? So, whoo, y'all going, man.
Like to go ahead, to go forward in the time machine, like a criticism that D'Angelo got, like for Black Messiah was, oh, we don't understand all the lyrics and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, sometimes I still don't know all the words to Another Life. But guess the first time I heard that song, it was like something just went through me. Like it was a spiritual experience. And it, and I did have to go and read the lyrics eventually, but that feeling.
Yeah, that feeling. Oh my God.
Like from the first, like just from before he even sang a word, like
yeah,
I was just like, oh, I think this is gonna be my favorite. So I'm glad I said that. It's about that feeling. You might not understand. That's why you're supposed to sit with music. It's not you sit with it, you study it, you figure out. But that's part of the fun of it. You trying to figure out. I mean, it's a lot of people who enunciate, and you still not necessarily know what they're saying. How many times we walk around for a decade singing a song wrong?
Oh my God, we got countless examples of that.
Yeah, Jimmy Jam just had to gather me on my own post. I was singing a song at a concert. He said, no, that's not that's not, and it was the OJs, and I love the OJs. And I was singing the word wrong, and he was like, no, I think it's this line. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been singing that wrong for 30 years. What is that?
Did I see that stunt?
Yeah. Oh,
I was just chatting with homeboy Jimmy. Jam writing.
I could have started and be like, how I normally be like Jimmy Jam, our friend. But I'm
teasing. I do it, but
I was just talking because but it was a stunt. I'll take it.
Oh, shit, man. Jimmy Jam, man.
Oh man, yeah, man. Oh God. All right, Jones in my bones. That pen, like we just said about Brown Sugar, because again, he's being creative. What he's saying, you know what I'm saying? He's talking his shit on this record. You know what I'm saying? And this is the one that Angie helped him write. So I'm a fan of her because I love her Black Diamond, her debut. Obviously, D'Angelo's feeling is all over it because he helped some of the shit. But like when I listen to Every Day on that album, it reminds me of the feeling of Jones in My Bones. The writing, the way he's coming out of the chorus with it, and the way she's coming out of chorus of every day. I'm like, oh shit. But when I heard Jones in My Bones, I'm like, then you being 9, did not know what the hell he was talking about. I'm just singing. And my mom is looking at me like, does he really know what he's talking about? Does he really know what he's saying? And I'm like, I got a jump in my bones. And she like, okay, good. He don't know yet. He don't know yet, but okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? He's feeling it. And that's what, again, you're young. So you're getting the feeling. You're not really understanding words. You just like, you singing along and it feels good. But then once I got older, and then I went, Ma, she was like, I knew that. You did.
Exactly.
But what I love about that song of Buzz is that, like when he's doing that vocalized, it's so dope. Like it just sounds, it's just, I don't know, it's just so smooth and rough at the same time. It's like,
man,
yeah,
it's it kind of put me in like a jazz mood, like Cotton Club type vibe. You sitting there, and yeah, the other thing that I appreciate is like the production. You know what I'm saying? Like I prefer mellow, simple beats. Like I don't like the beats to do a lot of things because you know our voice and your writing is an instrument as well. So it's like if you overpower, you don't have enough space for your voice and your songwriting. So the melody, just the groove of Jones in my bones, just again some shit I just sat with and just felt like I didn't. At my age, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about at the time. I got older, but like you said, it felt good, and it was just in that pocket, man. And again, him providing another genre. Like it's 3 songs, and I feel like it's 3 different genres that he's went to. So he just going back into his bag and just showing how effortless it is because it all meshes so well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just like to me, this is why this album is my favorite, to be honest, because I always say Voodoo is the best. But honestly, D'Angelo don't got no bad albums, period. So it really, like, whatever one is your best, that's fine, or favorite or whatever. But we know Voodoo is kind of like the staple when it comes to D'Angelo. Everybody be like, okay, that's the artistic excellence that everybody kind of do. And this is kind of, because your first album is basically you created it your whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you created your whole life. So by that second album, the sophomore, is you're in the industry, you know how it is. Can you still do what you gave, but still be different and artistic? So I guess that's why everybody gives it the Voodoo. But Brown Sugar, to me, I'm such a Curtis Mayfield fan. Every one of these songs reminds me of him. You know what I'm saying? Especially the bass line. It's so sick and so like funky that it gave me Curtis. Like that 70s run that Curtis did, I need y'all to like literally go. Because I know after people seem like they only know Superfly and that's kind of it. And then the soundtracks he did. But a lot of those like Sweet Exodus and The Way the World Is Today, like those type of albums, I'm like, D'Angelo had to be listening, especially a song like this, and the way he's just killing it on the bass. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I wondered when Curtis heard this, like, did he say, yo, I gotta meet this dude? Because they always give D'Angelo to Prince. It's like, obviously, we know he's inspired by Prince, and Prince is a big deal. But I'm like, to Curtis to hear this, he got to be like, yeah, that little kid had to be inspired by me. Like,
see, you're gonna make me go back because I'm not big in my Curtis Mayfield bag, so I'm gonna have to go back and revisit that because that's another thing that I like to do with artists who inspire me. I want to go listen to who inspired them. So I went back, and the '70s is like my favorite era of music. Pretty
mine
much.
too.
It was just some other shit that I think we'll never see again. But I went back and listened to Sly and the Family Stone, and when I heard "You Found My Smile Again," I was like, bro, this is like I'm listening to D'Angelo all over again. So when you go back and you can hear those inspirations, so I know the feeling like when you hear the Curtis Mayfield influence, and you're like, man, this is. So yeah, I definitely got to go back and listen to some more Curtis.
Please do.
And the main thing is this album is very cinematic. Like it sounds, it could be a movie score, or like you can make a movie. Like, yeah, every song, like it could be the backdrop of some scene. Or the main characters on a date in a blues club, and Jones in My Bones is going on, or some old man singing "Shit Damn Motherfucker." Like I
can't. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
It's a movie, necessarily. The album is not necessarily telling a story, but it kind of could.
It could. Oh yeah.
You could make an argument for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's a movie. It was, yeah.
I can see that. Oh yeah, for sure. All right, me and these dreaming eyes of mine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't worry about this song.
Go ahead.
When I was in college, my favorite place is the Student Union, and we had a jukebox, not the fancy, fangled ones, like an actual real jukebox, not this digital and you put on your phone. No, that didn't exist. And Me and My Dreaming Eyes was one of the songs in the jukebox. But like most of the songs in the jukebox were bad. So it was only like 10 songs that we would play from it. And Me and My Dreaming Eyes I probably heard from 1997 to 2000, I probably heard that song 10 times a day.
Oh,
Man.
And it became like a running joke about that song. So every time I hear it, it just takes me back to hear it over. I don't know why that particular song from D'Angelo was in there, but it was. And it was an old school jukebox.
Man.
Wow.
10 times a day. Good night.
Damn it. Don't you got the single to Me and These Dreamers Eyes of Mine, sis?
I do, and it has
the Dilla mix on it, right?
No. Premier, DJ Premier mix.
Oh, DJ Premier, okay.
The one with Eric Sermon and Redman.
Right. That's right. Yo, see, she's smooth with it. You see, bro, how she just, it was easy for her. Like,
man.
You don't know her collection like that.
It's right here.
Ah, okay.
The beginning of the D's. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That was very adorable.
I tried. Yo, this song, like the first 16 seconds to me is, again, just church.
Please, like,
oh my God. Like, yo, if you did not know it coming from church, you know what it feels like we just said. And that first 16 seconds, I was like, woo, wait a minute. Even when I was 9, I'm like, whoa, okay, we about to go to church. And that's what my grandmother also liked about this album as well, because she's a preacher's kid. God bless her soul. She was a preacher's kid. So she knew when she heard it, like, oh, what he about to do? So again, y'all talk about the generation thing. It was like, it got me, it got my mom, it got my grandma. It was just like, wow, he's reaching all that by just 16 seconds. He had all of us go at the same time because of that feeling, that church, them chords. Like, it was just like, that boy, I want to know what church he went to. That's what I like.
When you heard it, were you like, whoa? Yeah.
Whatever that is, I like that. Yeah. Like, oh my God. Yeah. And then D'Angelo does his own backgrounds on it.
Yeah.
And
it's definitely one of my favorites on the album.
Oh. Well, the next one is my favorite because I got a story.
Well, I know it's your favorite. I didn't say it was my favorite. It says one,
Oh, yeah. On this album, look, y'all can have as many.
It's one of the standouts of the album. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. And his harmonies on this, man. Again, we was just talking. We did an episode of Maxwell's and how we were talking about Maxwell did his own backgrounds, his own vocals, and D'Angelo did the exact same thing. Like, his vocals on this, I know there was a lot of stacking. You know what I'm saying, that he did. So I know he had about 20 different things to bring them all together and to sound so great the way it did. You know what I mean? Because that's what, when I'm listening to a song, that's another thing I'm trying to catch. I'm like, who's singing backgrounds with them? And then when that junk said all vocals, D'Angelo, I said, enough for me.
Man, and you know that signature stack sound that he has. Like, I don't know how many he has on there, but you know it when you hear it. And he just was a master of even, I'm pretty sure that was inspired from somebody, but I just know the way he does it is, I don't know, it's just his vein. I remember trying to mimic that shit one time when I was first starting, like, okay, I'm gonna make like a D'Angelo stack. That shit sounded horrible. You know, it trying to make it do whatever he did. I was like, bro, okay, you had no business trying to mimic this. Let him inspire you and figure your own shit out, B. Like, get out his bag. You ain't in that bag. I had to humble myself real quick. So every time I hear it, and I hear someone, I think I'm trying to think of something like Sir. To me, he does a great
Yes.
rendition where it's not biting, it's his shit, but it reminds me of the D'Angelo stacks when I hear it sometimes. I hear Lucky Day do it sometimes. So when I hear it, it's executed well.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me, but you know, I I can appreciate, you know, me and those dreaming eyes of mine, because the church factor and those harmonies, like you said.
Well, I mean, I know you're not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. You kind of sing better than both of them. Just
whoa, 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 whoa.
I said it. No, I said it. And you know, I normally look. I go in about you when it comes to vocals, so everybody knows that on here on my show. So hey, but no, Lucky Day and Sir, they sing down too. I ain't gonna stunt, but it's something about yours. I said you got the church in your throat. I'm sorry.
I greatly appreciate it. And one other thing I'm learning to appreciate about, you know, what everyone brings different to the table, because they all have their different styles. You know, I bring something different. Lucky Day has his own style. Yeah. Sir has their own style. So definitely appreciate everyone, you know, doing what they do. Like I said, I can't replicate what he did. They can, and they found their way with it. I'm still learning. So yeah, much respect to them folks.
Good one, B. Thank you.
Yes, Jack.
You see,
Chad, that's having to call him out in public.
Yes,
that is an uncomfortable place to put people.
It was. I realized that after I said it.
I know it's from love, man. It's from love.
Very savvy and well spoken and you know, but that's rude. And so if I went on somebody's show, it's like, well, you were better. Y'all show better than this one and this. I'm like,
oh no. But we have a show. It was funny. I think it was funny, but it was just wrong at the wrong time.
I would be like,
what are you talking
I mean, I appreciate what other people do. Like, don't do that to me. That's how you start mess.
Right. I was just because you see me. Elise was gonna let me burn for a second. She wasn't gonna let this segment in until she said her piece. Because once I said it, I looked at her and she was just like,
y'all see me? I was like,
yes. And I knew I was just like, damn, I fucked up. But okay. But when B brought it back, I said, good. But at least wasn't gonna let that in just like that now. Like
I'll let you go.
She wasn't gonna let me have that. No, not at all. But no, Sir and Lucky Day, I'm not. Nah, please don't. I'm just trying to be funny. You guys are dope as well, because I talked about both of y'all on my show as well. You know what I mean? But hey, I got a favorite and B is just one of them. I'm just saying. That's all. That's all. We can have favorites and there. I'm trying.
Shut down. What's done is done. It's
yeah, you know what? Let's go to the next one. Shit, damn motherfucker. How about that? It's a great way to go into this record. Yo, I never used to be able to sing the hook of this song because of my age, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking one day, I said, I'm gonna get through this, because you know, my mom blasting this loud, right? So I'm thinking, oh, she ain't gonna hear me, right? Y'all, that one day, I'll never forget that day. We in the car and she's playing it on cassette and we driving or whatever, and it comes up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get through this joint. And then I'm like, shit, damn, motherfucker. But I didn't do it on the first. I kind of waited, because you know I'm trying to wait this out. Like, all right, mom is in it. I'm good. Cool. And then I was just like, shit, damn. Darn, I'll never. I was like, D'Angelo, you got me slapped. At like 10 years old for trying to sing this hook. You know what I'm saying? This is, y'all. And I tell my mom this story all the time. And she'd be like, yeah. And I'm to this day, I don't even curse around my mom because it's weird to me. Yeah. It's just a level of respect that I have. So I just don't curse around her. So it's weird now when the song plays, she kind of looks at me and I just don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. I'll just be like, darn
mother sucker.
Yeah.
You dumb motherfucker. This on riding, man.
I guess I'm just disrespectful because that's gonna be my mom. Now I would never cuss at her.
Right.
That. But if it's in the context of what we talk about, it's not
in the mix.
Yeah.
I learned it from somewhere.
Hello, and that's right. I'm like, Ma, I did no curses from you. Like
I learned from the best.
that part. But y'all, isn't this song like the smoothest crime scene ever?
Wow.
right. Why are you both bleeding so much? Like, yo,
what?
I'm like D'Angelo, like, and you can see like he's there, like smoking one and talking his mess, like, I just killed y'all. Why y'all bleeding like this stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, the smoothest ever. And this is his Sam Cooke vibes to me. Like this record here. This was the Sam Cooke vibes because, you know, even Questlove said this on his he was doing it. Him and D'Angelo was together. He was like, when people was giving him a tape, they was like, oh, you're gonna hear Sam Cooke over it. And you know, he said when he heard it, he was like, get the fuck out of here. I ain't got time for that. So he said when he threw it in and he heard shit damn motherfucker, he was like, oh shit, he right, like, oh shit. Cause he didn't even know who D'Angelo was. It was just, this is at the award show, they throwing out, you know, giving, cause they had the samplers, if y'all knew what samplers was. And they had those, and they was giving it to him like he's the new Donny Hathaway, the new Sam Cooke, this. And you know, somebody like Quest that knows a lot of music, he like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all wilding. And he said he put that shit in and he was like, wait a minute now. Like, and he heard shit damn motherfucker. And he was like, yo, this sound like him. I gotta find this dude. Like, D'Angelo, this is who he is. And this is at the Soul Train Awards in 95. So it was like, wow. And that's what I got to Sam Cooke. Like, Somebody Have Mercy. If y'all listen to that and listen to the live version or live at Harlem Square Club, and the way he's singing it is kind of the way D'Angelo vocally, you know, did this. It was like, oh yeah, that's his Sam Cooke vibe. And I had to be right because my grandfather even liked it, even though my grandfather loved the curse. But that's another reason why he liked this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gave you Sam Cooke flavor. So yeah.
Man, I gotta go listen to that. This is one of those tracks where, again, the penmanship, like we just talked about how he, you know, might not have been focused on the words all the time. He spread those words out for a reason. He wanted people to hear the words on this motherfucker because he was setting the story literally. And my parents, we went to the D'Angelo concert at Chastain Park in Atlanta, and he performed this song. And when he finished, he tore the whole stage up. Like he took the guitar, he broke everything on stage when he finished this song. The drums, he killed I can't remember. He had to have closed the show out with this song because the fucking stage was destroyed. But I'm looking at my parents and they looking at me like, well, we didn't know he was gonna do all this shit. But it was a good experience because we was in that moment and I'm sitting there like, can I say it or can I not say it? We at the concert, we vibing. I didn't find my spot. I chose to shut up that day. But just having that visual, I still see that shit as clear as yesterday. Him just getting into it, and the more he got into it, he slammed the mic, like he just fully went out on that song, and it's just burned in my memory how raw that performance was. Wow. So this song especially, has a special place in my heart because that was the first concert we went to for D'Angelo. He tore the damn stage down, literally.
Wow, that's crazy. Because did he do it on live at the Jazz Cafe? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. I had to revisit that album. I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Because
he had to close the show out. Because, like I said, that must have been the last song.
Yeah, he did. He did it right after Me and This Dreaming Eyes of Mine.
Oh, okay.
Because I can. Am I right, sis? Because I don't want to be wrong.
I don't.
Consult the Googles. Because I want to be wrong on it. Oh God, yeah. Because I think I'm remembering just Angie on that behind Me and These Dream Eyes of Mine, and they go right in.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, you were correct.
Okay.
The jazz, that's when he did like Can't Find Love and those.
Yeah. It just, and like you said, sis, it's like a movie. Like it felt very cinematic. Like it did. Like, yo, D'Angelo, yo, can you give us at least a little YouTube of this record? Like, I would just love a video. Like that should be dope. I mean, hey,
and another thing that sticks out with this record, where again I finding my identity, you know, slowly through the course of this. This was the first time I'd heard an R&B artist curse like that. I had never heard an R&B artist curse like that. You know, I'm coming up on Stevie, Marvin Gaye, Donnie's, Temptations, you know, all the oldies. I had never heard anyone talk like that. And I'm looking like, we can say that? Hold on, we can. So R&B art, we can talk like that. It's not going to be misinterpreted, or you can appreciate the artistic vibes of it. I don't remember how it was accepted initially when it came out, but that does stick out. I had never heard anybody curse like that from an R&B standpoint.
That's true. That's, well, see, I had hip hop. My dad a hip hop head, so this is the time that he's still playing doggy style. So yeah, my cursing was very good by that point.
You was a fan.
yeah. I was just like, oh shit, damn motherfucker, man! I done heard more than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yes, he was really like the first R&B dude. Like you said, you heard, you like, there wasn't nobody cursing like this. You know what I'm saying? Like Luther and all them, they weren't.
Right, like,
nah, it was all about love. Like they weren't cussing about this. D'Angelo was like, fuck that. I'm changing this narrative. Man, we can curse too.
And before that, you were used to a singer like a D'Angelo and all them. You were used to more of a clean cut like image, like it was like the styling,
right?
And he was just, you know, like a nigga, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Oh my man. Yeah.
And so that was different too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he looked like us. Yeah.
And he was just himself. He was just like, no, this is what I would have wore.
That's right. Like on the back of this dude wearing Timbs and jeans and a leather jacket. And you know what I'm saying? Like, look, come on, Luther and the one doing this. Like they wearing suited. Yes, they suited up Stacey Adams and you know, cummerbunds and shit like that. Like, nah, D'Angelo was like, nigga, give me a leather coat, some jeans and some Timbs, and I'm good. Like,
man, I can't tell you how many times I had a debate about when I was first trying to get back into music and people trying to tell me what I had to look like. Oh, you got to dance, you got to, you know, sing like Chris Brown, like you got to be a little Usher. I'm like, bro, I'm a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I really am. That I am who I am. You know, it's not even gonna make sense. I'm not even gonna try and jump over that. But again, D'Angelo being somewhat of the blueprint, like just being yourself. And again, he was the first time I saw myself in R&B. He's the one who made me even think about possibly being an artist. That wasn't never in my mind because I never saw myself. Like I know I'm not Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder. I'm not any of these guys. I didn't see myself until I saw him with that. And I'm like, oh, this is a nigga that know how to sing. Pretty much. That's me. I mean, that's what it is in a nutshell. So
real. Yeah. That's real. That's real.
Mean, D'Angelo's the reason why you ended up getting, you know, your cases and your name Donnell Jones and that type of style. Like that's why you were able to, you know, he was kind of trailblazer of like, no, I'm gonna be who I am.
Oh yeah. But he was still smooth though. Still, you know what I'm saying? He still had that smooth flavor. You know what I mean? So, oh shit, that is the next song.
My imaging is this certain thing doesn't mean that I'm not gonna sing down and you know, set the page on fire with his pen. Like I'm still a complete artist because I look like this. Okay.
Right. And it's always young. You got to realize too, the game is always young. And that's, you know what I mean? It's what the young kids are vibing to. And young kids can look at D'Angelo then and be like, he looked like me. You know what I'm saying? Dudes is like, yo, that looks like me. I can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Because by then, I mean, we have the Jodeci now. You know what I mean? That's them. But it was like D'Angelo was a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to sit and drink a Hennessy with him. Like that's the type of dude that he was with. And this is what, and mind you, hip hop is starting to become completely mainstream now. Yep. So it's coming into our culture. So he's able to express that. That's why after a while it was like, even though Luther was getting hits and all that, but it was all about this. You know what I'm saying? And that everything was starting to change. Like Sis said, the imaging and all that was changing, but we was able to say, this dude, all right, this is the dude we can rock with. You know what I'm saying? Because he can relate to us. I don't want to wear no suit. I don't want, thank God, because I'm still like that to this day. Thank you, D'Angelo. I could tell my mom and them, I ain't, at least know she's the one that made me dress up for her birthday one year. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, give me a pair of jeans, some boots, fitted, and I'm good. Hey. But now when he came out with this, I could argue then because I wasn't a suit person then when I was a kid. Right. I was like, Mom, can I just wear some Timbs and some jeans? And D'Angelo's doing it. And that still didn't work until I got broke. But at the end of the day, it was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is what I can look at him and be like, yo, that's what I'm rocking with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I seen bro on Apollo, this man had on like a football jersey and some Jordans. I'm like, nigga, that's what I got on. Like, this look like me.
He definitely did. I posted that maybe like 2-3 years ago on my Instagram. And it was just like so many people was just like looking like, yo, he really came out with a baseball jersey, some jeans, and playing the piano like it's nothing. That was it. Now, like, he's still showing his talent, but he's relating to us. You know what I mean? So thank you, D'Angelo. Oh, I love that narrative change. Yes, that image change that I needed because I was about tired of them damn suits, for real. But, all right, so the next joint is Smooth. Now, this is one of my favorites on the album. Like I said, I felt like he wrote this joint for Angie. I feel that way because Angie came in and kind of guided him with this album. And you know, when you're in the studio with somebody all the time, y'all around each other all the time, you're going to start, you know, there's maybe something that start there. You know what I'm saying? And then she was older and definitely more experienced because in this part, he said, what did he say? Damn. I get what I want. I used to get what I want when I want it, where I want it, but in your field, I'm inexperienced. I was like, damn, them some words. Like, I'm like, whoo, and I'm like, maybe he's talking to Angie for me. You know what I mean? And then he like, when I'm around you, I can't keep my cool. Like, I'm like, okay, I felt like this was a bonding record with him and Angie. I felt like so maybe that's me, but that's what I felt.
I never looked at it from that perspective, but now that you say that, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I'm gonna agree with you on that line of thought. That makes. Damn.
This is the lyrics in me. I've been around that one too long. So she is the lyric queen. And before then, I used to just think this joint was dope. He's talking to a girl, this was what it was. But then this is now when I listen to it, probably for the past, like, I've known this girl for like 5 years now, going 5 years. I'm like, when I listened to it, I was like, wait a minute. He was with Angie. I was like, wait a minute. What's the lyrics to these? And it's because of Elise, because I wouldn't have never did that. I would never.
The light bulb just came on. Like just the light bulb.
It's your fault, Elise. Damn. I blame you.
Okay. And I said on the early episode, like, one thing I love about me and JR is I'm like, he's more about, like, he's gonna tell you the instruments and who played it and who's same background and all that. I'm more, you know, like, I pay attention because I'm a writer. I pay more attention to lyrics and blah blah blah. But from us being around each other and talking about so much music, now I'm looking. I'm like, ooh, who's playing this horn, or who's on the drums, or who mixed this, or whatever, in a way that I never have been before. And now he's like digging in the lyrics, and he's like, well, this, that. I was like, ooh, and like the way he might even get some of me. I'm like, I didn't even think about that, you know. So it's the more we talk, the more we kind of, I mean, one being.
Yes. Right. But B, this is the song that when I heard you, it reminded me of you.
Wow.
When I heard Smooth. When I was like, I think I even said it in my episode when I first did you, I was like, yo, he reminds me of D'Angelo. Because when I heard, it might have been Devil's Cup, I think. It might have been that. It's just like the nuances. I was like, this remind me of like Smooth a little bit. And I was just like, let me go back and listen to it. And it just, the little nuances that you do kind of reminded me of that. So when I listen to Smooth now, being a fan of yours, I'll be like, yeah, that's B right there, yo. He reminds me of the nuance, the little, like maybe vocal run he might have did here or something like that. I'm like, his influences, but to know you're influenced by D'Angelo, I'm so happy because I could have been completely wrong. And you would have been like, nah, I really wasn't influenced by D'Angelo. And I would have been like, well, I thought you were, but okay. Like,
you're absolutely right. Smooth is again one of them, like, kind of bring me like a jazz vibe. Again, he just going in and out these genres, doing what he do. But to your point, when I first put out Peach and you made a video about it, and literally when I was writing that song, I asked my wife, I was like, hey, what do women want to hear? And if you hear the record, you have an idea what she told me.
Right.
So just trying to think of something that a woman would want to hear that's not, may not be out there. And I literally said I wanted to kind of have like Prince lyrics, but a D'Angelo type vibe, but be my vibe. Wow. You said that shit verbatim.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's exactly the thought process I had behind it. So for you to pull that out again is why I appreciate what you all do, because I mean, a bunch of people can, talk the music or whatever, but for someone to be as nuanced as y'all are, as a student, like I said, I'm always a student. I'm always a fan first before anything. So I just appreciate what y'all do once again, man.
Yes. I got it right, because man, it's a couple people. I was like, yo, I gave this flavor, and they was like, I appreciate it, but I really wasn't inspired by that person. I'd be like, damn. Damn, okay. Like, I was like, maybe that was just me. But like Sis said, we take music on how we think. You know what I mean? So yes, when Peach, I was like, come on. I was like, that ain't nothing but Prince and D'Angelo there. So then when you told me, you was like, yo, that's exactly what it was. I was like,
some of that shit I said, like, I would not have said it. I literally wouldn't have said it like that. And I was like, damn, Prince would say that shit though. So say it, like, say that. And I didn't even go where Prince would have went with it, but just again, just the inspiration, and for you to pick up on it, man.
Oh yeah. But cruising. Baby. I was like, I was like, D'Angelo killed this. Now this, when they always talk about like favorite covers and stuff, I'm like, this top dog, one of the top dogs is always Ribbon in the Sky with intro, and then it's Cruising by D'Angelo. Those two don't make me think about the original at all. Like, I don't think about, but again, shout out to Smokey, because he wrote the hell out of the song for D'Angelo to do it. So you got to give credit where credit is due. But it's like the way D'Angelo just flipped it and he added so much grit to it, and grit and freaking weight. It got weight. I love using Sis thing. It's so thick that it's hard to get through it. Like it is. And it's just like, and he's singing on it, and it's just so freaking smooth. You know what I'm saying? Well, but it just is. And like, I have to listen to Cruising a lot. Like, I have a playlist on my YouTube when I'm at work, and I just have it playing, and I have Cruising on it. And I be at work, and I'll be like, work stops now. I'm just gonna chill and listen to this because I gotta like I'm in that world with him. I just want to be like, I want to ask D'Angelo, what world was you in when you did this cover? Like,
Yeah.
whew, Jesus. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. I apologize.
And then sometimes I feel like people will do a cover and it could even be good, but it don't fit with their album necessarily. And this is seems like, you know, the sequencing of this album is amazing. Like, however, I feel like you could put this album in any order and it would have been fine.
It would have worked. Yep.
Actually.
Yep.
Because the songs sound different, but they are the same vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's a cohesive thing. You could have actually put them in any order.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I normally don't listen to like I try not to shuffle when people, especially when somebody has put together, you know, a body of work. I want to hear how they intended me to hear it. But like you said, all this shit just flows together so well that you could listen to it on shuffle and still get the same energy from it. But yeah, like we were speaking about Cruising before, one of the, like, just from my era, just one of the smoothest, easiest songs, man. And it's not an easy song to sing from a singer standpoint. It's not an easy song to sing. It sounds super easy and smooth, but the way he cruising on the shit is just, man, he puts his stamp on everything he does, man. It's never biting, it's never corny. You know, it always makes sense, and it's always got, like I said, hit that little stamp, like y'all say, that thickness, the grit in the voice, but still being able to, you know, go up to higher tones like Smokey was going up to. Like, man, again, he's my favorite artist, you know, because the way he's able to do what he do.
And I love the way D'Angelo. I do like his covers, except for one. But I like he does a cover well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
you know I gotta ask which one you don't like.
Flavor. And the one I don't like is he didn't bring that flavor. He didn't bring his thing, and he trying to do it
like the original.
Like the original, and that's the one that didn't work for me. The one, but all the ones where he's being himself and he's just feeling it and letting it go in his style. 10. And all right. For that
one. What song is this?
You know what song it is.
No, B asked you. He asked you.
You know I'm gonna ask. I gotta know.
Oh, the duet with Erica. I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
And they my two favorites.
Yeah,
but they're like two of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
But that it didn't. Neither one of them. They were trying to do a verbatim, and it didn't. And I just wanted them to bring themselves, and they didn't.
Fair enough.
It was just trying to sing it how it was like intended, and
I got you.
I feel
y'all for the things stylistically that y'all bring to the table that's different and so forth.
No.
Like we were saying beforehand, a fair assessment. Like
yeah.
Gotta respect it. Okay, perfect sense.
Yeah, shout out to Cruising, man. Oh my God. Well, When We Get By. That is jazzy to me.
Yeah.
Jazzy to me. You getting horns and go ahead.
No, didn't we play? Isn't that what we played on our radio show?
Yes, we did.
Jazz.
Yep. Yes, we did. We had a jazz appreciation. Yep. And we played When We Get By. Like, yo, this song is again smooth. And it's just, especially after coming off Cruising, it's just kind of letting you chill in it for a second. He like, I gave you a lot for Cruising, but I'm gonna let you sit in this. Like, I'm gonna let you sit in what I just gave you. And then the way it come in with the drum, dun, 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 like I'm like, oh my God, man. And that shout out to the Bob Brockman that's on that trumpet. Oh, you know I'm gonna give him love, Elise. Absolutely, yes. Because why I love a horn. I had to get that in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, When We Get By is one of my favorites. It's hard to pick a favorite on this, but When We Get By is definitely up there for me, and definitely top 3, you know, for me on the album. Again, like we gonna say a million times, the vibe is just, you know, the vibe. Like it's just some shit you can put on and do whatever. You know, it's some real chill music, and like you said, coming out of cruising, going into that, how it just flows, man, it's just effortless again. But yeah, like I said, one of my favorites on here for sure. When We Get By.
You can tell that to me, like D'Angelo and Bob Power was really, it was like a jam session for them. These might have been one of the first songs they might have did, like just to give what the album flavor is. You know what I'm saying? Because you always, you know, be like the first song, it's like it might not be what the last, you know what I'm saying, what the album might be. So I think this was maybe the song to me that was like, them two was like, yeah, this is where we gonna go. This is where we gonna go. Because you can feel like it felt like a jam session on this.
Yeah,
like,
I would be surprised to find out, because that makes perfect sense, how many of these are from jam sessions. Because I feel like I've seen that's how he kind of works a little bit. He'll just be playing and some shit will come up, he'll change the groove, and that's where the songs get inspired. So this sounds like one of them jam session joints.
Yeah, like they got that flavor to me.
Yeah.
And this gave what Bob and him was like, all right, we there. We on to something. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the flavor we got. Like, all right, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So this is a top 3 for me for sure. For sure. Love this. Love this. Ha! The next song, Lady. Listen here.
if ever song could be perfect, that is that. Bing.
That part.
Oh my God.
When I first heard that bass, I knew it was Raphael. Because see, I'm a Raphael head. I'm a fan. So when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute. Nobody ain't playing like that. Wait a minute. Who is that? I was like, Raphael. I was like, And them two, well, we all know them two create magic with each other. Because this wasn't this might have been the first, but this damn show wasn't the last. Like,
surely not the last.
And the last 3 minutes of the bass and the harmonies for the last 3 minutes is everything for me. That's when you mean the definition of letting a song ride, and letting it ride with just his voice and just go, like y'all said, this record is perfect, man. Like,
this is a perfect song. This is my favorite song on Brown Sugar.
I figured it was.
This is my favorite song.
I figured it was.
Like you said, man, a perfect record. The remix, I was fucking with that.
That's my favorite remix of the 90s.
And to bring y'all behind the scenes a little bit, this is funny. We were speaking on this earlier. Somebody had like some D'Angelo, some type of challenge or some shit like that, right? So I was not going to put my hat in the ring, because I learned my lesson beforehand from trying to do what D'Angelo done.
Yeah.
Stay in my shit. You got to stay and be Trenton lane. You can't be merging.
Right.
But listening to one of my friends, I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. So I put something out there, and it was cool. Again, like I said, if I don't feel like I really put my stamp on it, I really don't want to put it out. But again, I'm just trying to, my friend talked me into it. I put it out. One of the commenters was like, oh man, you should do so and so and so and so. Me again listening, knowing I'm like, hey, this really ain't my like pocket for real. And I redid a lady sample, but it was sped up pretty much. And it was cool. I put it out for maybe like 2 days, and I just couldn't, it just wasn't feeling right. I had to take that shit down immediately. But again, knowing in your lane, staying in your lane, realizing you can't do what D'Angelo did. As much as you want to be inspired, as much as you want to, and having a healthy respect for the GOAT in my eyes, just because he's my favorite artist. And I had to pull that shit down, bro, because it wasn't, like she was just saying about the cover. If you're going to cover something, it has to meet certain standards. It wasn't meeting them standards, bro. I had to pull it down.
Damn, B.
I had to pull it down, bro. And my boy was like, man, what you pull it down for? I like, bro, that ain't it, man. I'm doing a discredit to the song, honestly.
Damn, well
Again,
now I know.
I'm a student and a fan first, so it ain't even about no ego. I don't have no ego with this shit, man. So yeah, I had to pull it down.
Damn, I was gonna ask you too, B. I was gonna be like, can you cover this? Well, y'all can forget that.
I'm leaving that shit alone, man.
He said, nope. He put it on for 2 days and took it off. Like, bye. Nah. And I love that. But I love that. And that's real though. Because you was like, yo, it didn't feel right to me. And if it don't feel right to me, I'm not doing it. And that's one thing that me and Elise stand so firm on this show. If it does not feel right to us, y'all will never see it. And believe me, there's a couple of shows that y'all did not see because at the end of the day, it didn't feel right to us. And if it don't feel right, if we want the audience to feel like, yo, y'all having a conversation with us, it's flowing, it's great. Right. If they don't feel that way, me and sis know this as soon as we get off. When we get off with the person, we be like, yeah. Like, and we both do it at the same time though. Like, we'd be like, no.
He gonna text us after, I want one of the ones.
No, right.
Ain't on the cut room flow. Ain't in the vault.
No, B, you ain't made nah. You actually know how to talk through some things. Catch that, y'all. But it was just like, yeah, so I respect that so much because you was like, yo, if it ain't feel right to me, and this is your favorite artist, and you covering your favorite artist, and you like, oh, hell no.
Yeah,
nah. We bringing it on down. Yes. Oh, God, lady. Like, oh, and the remix, too. DJ Premier's remix. Oh, my God. And the video.
Was AZ on the remix?
Yes.
Like, man. And the people who he picks to choose in the hip hop space is also just like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. It just meshes so well. AZ, Method Man, and Redman, all the work they did together, like everybody just fits. Eric Sermon, like everybody just makes sense on those tracks. But yeah,
and you could and D'Angelo is also a hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? So he. Again, like an artist can say that they know what's hot and what other people doing and what's gonna fit. And one thing about D'Angelo, and you said it, he's your favorite artist. D'Angelo is an artist, like for real. So he's not gonna work with somebody that he know ain't gonna work with him. That ain't gonna work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that remix, I wouldn't expect anybody but AZ to be on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it works. You know what I mean? So that just everything about Lady is just completely just perfect, man. Like, and I'm not the biggest single type. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the reason why I went to pass Brown Sugar. Yeah, I said it fine. But you had to go back. But nah, I love sing. I'm not the biggest single, but this from D'Angelo is absolutely my favorite single from him. Like, hands down. Everything. And I love the long version because the video version you get in about 4 minutes. Yeah. It's kind of like with Raphael Sadiq, we talked with Rel about it with Ask of You. Like, I need that whole 5 to 6 minute version. I need this 5 minute and 47 seconds of Lady. Like, don't give me no video version. I'm sorry. Like, no. Because I'll be like, I want more. I'm missing damn near 2 minutes. I want more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm saying like, I need more. Thank you. So, yes, this song is everything for real. For real. Oh, boy. Then we close it out with my favorite song on this album, and it is Higher. And this song to me is, if you heard all the church influences from D'Angelo, but this song is his church. And y'all know in the 90s, a lot of our artists used to do covers and used to have a gospel song at the end of the album. And D'Angelo did that with this. And he's saying it from the beginning of the hook, please give us strength, Lord, to fight our battles. Like, you know who he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm the type that when you're doing church songs, that's why I love BB and CC. They were my favorites because they didn't say God. You knew who they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? you didn't have to be extra preachy, but you felt it. You know what I'm saying? And with this record, I've always loved this record from the beginning. Like, this is actually, when I have a gospel playlist, this is actually my first song on it, because it's that. And then now, oh God, I don't want to get emotional with this, but this has me think about my grandma. You know what I mean? Like, this also just makes me think that she's my angel. You know what I'm saying? She's watching over me. And I feel like a lot that's happening with me and Elise with R&B reps is because of her. And I always think that. I always think like, wow, she's up there. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes me think about her. I smile with this record because it, after Elise, no, it was a lot with my grandma passing. I couldn't even smile. Like, y'all know me. I can laugh, I can bug out, I can do all that. But when she passed, I couldn't even smile because it was like a part of my heart is gone. So when I hear this song now, I smile because I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? And then this is the time y'all talking about the generational thing. My mom liked it. I liked it. My grandma liked it. And I always feel y'all get problems when you try to cross over to that from the church. They always like, oh, you're doing the devil's music. Oh, you're doing this and doing that. And I know, B, you probably done went through that. And it's like, oh, why are you doing this? And why? And I think this is D'Angelo's like, here you go. Here you go. Like, I'm still rooted there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how he like, y'all, if you want gospel, I'm not leaving it. It's always in me. Gospel is in me and it always will. But I'm going to give y'all a song to show y'all. I can give y'all shit damn motherfucker, but I can also give you higher. You know what I'm saying? I could also be inspiring. I could also make people say, yeah, have that spiritual connection with God. You know what I mean? And that's why this is a favorite to me, yo, for real, because it just touches me somewhere that these other songs do too, but it's something about this record that just touches me somewhere, and it's just amazing. And that's why it's my favorite, for real.
Man, yeah, Higher is one of my favorites as well, because of course, you know, with all the church influence and showing the versatility, like you were saying, being a straight gospel song, but his version of a gospel song, not being preachy, like you said, but telling you what it's about, not leaving so much innuendo where you don't know, you know, what he's talking about, where it could be misinterpreted. And again, like making you connect, like you said, it was a feeling, right? Which you know, to your grandmother. I had a similar experience when I was writing Pour a Little Liquor. I didn't want to finish that song. I just didn't like the energy on the song.
Really?
I didn't want to finish that shit. My grandmother was like, I don't even know if she was sick at the time, but like I said, it was just the energy with that song, and I never finished it. And I got a call that my grandmother had passed, and that's when I finished the last part of that song, because I didn't like how it felt. But again, knowing about, you know, the feelings and everything, and you hear stuff, and that's another reason why what you just said about how it connected to you gives me my purpose in doing this, you know, because for me, like, I'm not obviously not chasing no fame or anything like that. It truly is about the music, but I understand that my purpose is to help someone get through something they're going through. It's not for me. So once I had to take myself away again, I try and keep my ego out of everything. If I feel my ego pinching, I step back and reflect and be like, am I doing this out of, you know what I'm saying, the music, or am I doing this shit out of ego? Right. If it's out of ego, I have to pull myself and recollect and come back out. That's why it takes me longer to, you know, put projects together and put things together, because I'm realizing I have a bigger purpose than I may have initially thought. It's almost ironic that God would give me this gift, because I am, like I said, I'm a nigga, bro. I am who I am. But people resonate for some reason to what I say, to how I say it. And you know, with that comes a lot of power in that. I don't take that for granted. But I'm about to go on a tangent on some spiritual shit.
Oh no!
But yeah, man, just showing your reaction to this record and what D'Angelo did with this record. I've been lately getting back into my roots. You know, so some of the songs I've been writing, are back into my roots, you know, without saying too much, but
oh, you know I'm hype. Oh, you know I'm hype. What?
I just have noticed, you know, some of those things tugging at me, and I'm like, why is this tugging at me? And just letting that out and being like, it's bigger than me. So,
ooh, we about to come up with some new shit. Okay, let's. Oh God. Oh man, yeah, this song is everything, man. Everything.
Oh, the end of the album. But not the end of us talking about D'Angelo, because we are to my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
It is word song association. And it's truly song association because I'm going to give you D'Angelo songs that were singles or on soundtrack. I only added that just so I could talk about one particular song. So, you know, post Brown Sugar,
okay.
D'Angelo songs that were singles or were on a soundtrack. Okay. And we'll start off with, and you tell me the first word, thought, or memory that comes to mind. Just don't overthink it. The first thing. So, this one you mentioned earlier, I Found My Smile Again. From the Space Jam soundtrack, and is an outtake of Brown Sugar. It was supposed to be.
You better.
hold on, you just messed me up with that. I found my smile. I found my smile again. Man, the first thing that comes to mind is Sly and the Family Stone. I just put those two together. What? I didn't even think about it till you just said that. That's exactly what comes to mind.
I am so glad that B sung. I was going to ask him, but I'm glad he gave us a piece. Thank you. Thank you. So y'all can hear what I be talking about, yo.
Oh man, yeah, that takes me back to that, and that that had to be the inspiration because it's in the same pocket of the Sly song.
Mm-hmm.
You what is it? You made me smile. I think is the name of the Sly.
You made me smile. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? That song, it's so pleasant.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
I think it had to be with us.
It doesn't have to, you know, because you think of D'Angelo and there's a grit, and that song is just sweet.
Right, so
it had to be for a soundtrack like Space Jam.
Yeah, and it's just so airy. Like it's open. It's not a whole lot going on. It's just.
So speaking of, so you think it would have fit on Brown Sugar then? No. It don't have the thickness like that. It's just too. It's like you said. It's very pleasant. It's very Space Jam-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's sweet. It's very like approachable and accessible. Like,
mm-hmm.
Like time I played it at the bar, and people like, I don't remember this D'Angelo song. I was like, well, it was on the soundtrack, and you know, so if you didn't hear it, that makes sense.
Right.
Like, oh, this is different. This is sweet, and they're like swaying. But they instantly know, they're like, that's D'Angelo, but I don't know this song.
Right.
I didn't discover it until years later.
Me too.
I didn't discover it until the internet was real heavy.
I was about to say, because I didn't even know that was on the Space Jam soundtrack. I didn't know that from somewhere else. I was like, hold on. That's why I kind of paused. I didn't even know it was on that soundtrack. But yeah, when you said it wouldn't have fit on Brown Sugar because it's not, it's airy.
Yeah.
That was a good decision for them to cut that from the project.
Yeah. I think.
Right. Devil's Pie.
Devil's Pie makes me think of a song I wrote called Devil's Cup initially. Then the genius in breaking, like just that analogy, you know what I'm saying? The Devil's Pie, like who that title alone is just crazy. I remember the video. Was that from that was on Voodoo? But I was trying to think if that was on like a soundtrack or something.
It was
It
Belly.
was. I was about to say, was that on the soundtrack? Yeah, that was on the Belly soundtrack.
It was perfectly placed.
I was about to say that fits perfectly on there. But yeah, that whole aesthetic, just the lyrics in that, man. Again, like the penmanship, like it's so many things, so many layers to it to show his genius for real. One of my favorites for sure. And again, merging the hip hop and R&B world, a perfect verse from Meth and Red that fits perfectly. That whole voodoo shit was like, I don't know, like it was an experience. You know, it was an experience.
Lee said that in the episode. She said, "Yeah." She said voodoo was an experience.
Real. Right. So we're gonna do another song from Voodoo. That was a single. Send It On.
Oh Jesus!
That is always the reaction of somebody when you bring up that song that's a music person. And you and they're just like,
oh Jesus!
If y'all said it to me, I'd be like,
Smooth will be the first thought that comes to mind. Just again, the beat being so chill. He really talking on the record, and just the vibe, man, is just some shit you'll get somebody pregnant to, man. Like it had to be the notion. Like I want a baby.
Well said,
man. Like smooth, perfection. One of those perfect for me.
And the video version with Anthony Hamilton on backgrounds and all that. Like, I love that video version. Oh, I love the regular and man, that's my actually favorite D'Angelo song. That's why I at least knew she was
going to wow.
That is my favorite D'Angelo song, period. So that's why I at least knew she was gonna get that damn reaction. We've met.
you know. All right. So we're gonna go to a cover. Feel Like Making Love.
Oh, good one.
Classic is the first thing that comes to mind. I actually performed this at a like an open mic. This was the song I did, his version. The open mic. I mean, it was cool. I was kind of nervous the first time. It was some years ago, but yeah, it's one of them songs that man, done so well. Like you said, a cover that brings in all the good aspects of the original, and he adds his, you know what I'm saying, he pour his sauce on top of the shit and just chef's kiss for real. Hell, this is another one. You want a baby, you turn this shit on. Like trying to get pregnant. It's one of them songs again. And it's like some the balance of like the gentleman but still like street kind of shit that meshes. It make perfect sense on a record like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not talking about, being, it's not, hey, I feel like fucking. It's, it's some emotion behind it. It's some thought behind it. It's some respect behind it. That,
Alice, y'all hear that?
Just comes out, eloquently, and he meshes it all perfectly.
And it's so funny that it was supposed to be a duet.
Well,
I was about to say, continue, because
continue, please.
With Lauren, that's why the rumors went around that she was on the track, but they had never talked face to face, but that was supposed to.
Oh, wow. Damn. Shit, I didn't know that. Oh.
And so rumors were around it, but they had never fleshed it out, so it never had become a thing. But it was something that was talked about, but it didn't come to fruition.
Oh, they would have killed that, y'all. Oh my God!
Like making love with Lauryn Hill on the shit.
That would have been dope.
Oh, well, I'm happy we got what we got with
that that I enjoy more than the original.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Roberta girl.
Oh God.
And last but not least, we have Really Love.
Love that song.
I'm gonna say Legend is like the first thing that comes to mind because this was, of course, after he taken one of those long hiatus, and I think Questlove I might have heard like a leak or something that Questlove put out beforehand, because people were so antsy hearing that he was back in the studio making music again, and he just put out maybe a snippet of Really Love, and I was like, okay, my boy back in that pocket, like beats not doing too much, very smooth, allowing him to float with his instrument all throughout it. The penmanship again just always sticks out to me. Is it really love? And just kind of going through that concept. I can appreciate as a songwriter when, you take love, which is, one of the many emotions that we feel, but something that's been talked about so many times, and you can kind of come at it from a different perspective, have a different variation on your relationship with love, because it's not always, honeymoons and, good things that come with it. So he's even questioning the feeling, so just again, some more depth and some more nuance to an emotion that everybody, experiences. So you just kind of appreciate that from a singer-songwriter standpoint.
Oh, man. This was amazing.
Yeah, this was dope. This was dope. I got to finally talk about my favorite album from him. Jesus. Finally, yo. Oh, we've been doing this going on 2 years.
Brown Sugar is JR's favorite. Voodoo is my favorite, but my favorite song is on Black Messiah.
And my favorite song is on Voodoo. Ain't that crazy?
My favorite song is Another Life.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Man, like that, the way JR is about higher, that's me and my connection to this song. Like in a slightly different way, but the same depth of just like connection.
That pen, bro. That pen.
Yeah.
But Voodoo, and the reason I say Voodoo is my favorite, this is what I run the most. Like if I'm gonna play something, I'm gonna play this. Brown Sugar, when I'm feeling like super nostalgic, I'm gonna listen to that. Or if I'm just in that mode. If I'm in a very introspective mood, or I'm writing or doing art, Black Messiah is what I'm gonna play. But just everyday shooting shit, Voodoo.
I mean, truth be told, that's kind of how I listen to it also. I probably listen to Voodoo more, just because, like I said, it was an experience. So just picking up on, like I said, I'm always going to be a student. So picking up on all those different genres, he bled, Spanish joint, fucking, of course, Untitled, like just the genius behind all of that. So I probably revisit Voodoo the most. I don't listen to Vanguard as much, but I definitely, run. I pretty much have like a day where I just play his shit on shuffle, and it's just
yeah.
And I just pick him and just press shuffle and just vibe out for that day.
Just to show how dope D'Angelo is.
Yeah. Man, brother. Well, we thank you for hanging out with us.
Oh, this was awesome.
Thank y'all.
Like I knew it would.
Oh man, and y'all are, I don't really get to talk about R&B a lot with my circle of friends, because everybody doesn't listen to it on the same scale. So it's thank you all also for providing the platform, and I appreciate your respect towards the music so we can have these conversations, because I don't normally get to have in-depth conversations about R&B.
Oh, well, then that's the case. He got to come back, y'all, with another album. Yep. Hey. He said it.
I'm gonna be drinking on the next one, so I might be.
Oh, me too. Oh, me too. Oh, me too. Oh, me too.
I won't be, but
oh yes, me too. Me too. I got to go home, so I had to be careful. Yeah. I got to be careful. The cup is still red, y'all, but it ain't liquor this time. But baby, when you come on the next time, it's on. What?
For real.
Well, I won't be because somebody got to herd the cat. Y'all might make me want to drink when I get off. That is a distinct possibility.
Oh man, y'all hilarious.
But yes, B, if you could just tell us real quick, how people could find you. What's the best place that they can go to?
Okay. I'm on all the social media platforms. Instagram at B_Trenton. My Twitter is BTrenton24. Those are basically the two I mainly work on mostly, that I'm most on. I can't even talk no more. Definitely finishing up some new music. I know I've been saying that shit forever, but I'm serious. I'm looking at the whiteboard right now with like the check marks and shit that needs to be done. So I do have a title. It's going to be called Noir. Probably gonna be about
shit, it's real. Okay.
So yeah, man, I'm trying to really make this special and make it worth the wait. And definitely JR gonna hear it before anybody.
Yes, God. And listen, and then I'm gonna be all my red cup gonna be ready for current R&B Vegas. What?
Appreciate you all always showing love and coming from you all. Like I said, y'all know what the hell y'all talking about, so it means something special coming from y'all. So much love.
Yeah. Well, again, we thank you, and we thank all our viewers for rocking out with us, on Sundays and beyond. And we really appreciate y'all. Check us out on rnbreps.com. Make sure to subscribe and share, like this video, and share it with your folks, because it's going to be some more people out there that want to have these conversations, and they just might not have anyone in their circle that, can really talk about it in the way, in the depth of the way that they like. So yes. Bring them on. Send it on.
I like how you did that.
I had at least one. And we'll be cruising on out of here, and we will catch y'all on the next Catch That.
Hey.